Aloha, everyone. Mele Kalikimaka, and welcome to this episode of Faith and Family First. I'm your host, Eva Andrade. I'm here with Marcus Oshiro, and what we are going to do for the show today is we are going to take a step back from all the noise. We're going to take a step back from all the worries. We're going to take a step back from all the craziness of Christmas and focus on the real message of Christmas, which you know, and I know, and Marcus knows, is Jesus Christ born in a manger and died for our sins. So let's chat about that. Well, hello, Christmas, Marcus.
Well, Merry Christmas. Can say that now.
Oh, we can. Wait,
Yeah.
I don't know. Big Brother might be...
Well, hey, you know what? They'll give us some slack right now because a lot of people are saying Merry Christmas. They're saying in Hawaii, Mele Kalikimaka.
Mele Kalikimaka.
You can't take Mele Kalikimaka. You can't take that away. Come on,
No.
that is...
And try. Take that away from me. Try. You're going to have to visit me in prison. I will always say Merry Christmas. Now, if I'm talking to someone I know is not a Christmas,
Yeah.
they're not a Christmas.
Yeah.
When I'm talking to someone who's not a Christmas, if I'm talking to someone
Give
who's
rap 'em.
not a
Yeah.
Christian,
Right.
I'm always mindful.
Yeah.
But most of my friends that are not Christians still say Merry Christmas.
You know, my friends who are Buddhist, my friends who are agnostic, my friends who are probably atheists, you know, I tell Merry Christmas. They go, Merry Christmas, you know. How's it, bro? Merry Christmas, Mele Kalikimaka.
I remember I'm not going to mention the company I was working for at the time because it was a big company and people would recognize the name. But this company that I was working decided that they were going to get rid of Merry Christmas because they said they found it offensive to some of their employees. So they were going to change it from Merry Christmas to Happy Holidays. Right? So I started laughing, and me being the kind of person I am, I just raised my hand at the staff meeting when they made this announcement. I said, you do realize that holiday comes from holy day, right? You know that, right? And they weren't happy about that because, you know, there's only one group of people that would call Christmas holy. So that's just how I roll, Marcus.
That, you know what? Oh, holy night.
Okay, so now tell us what's up with the little Christmas hat.
Well, the little Christmas hat is just, you know, one of those favorites of the season. When it gets a little chilly in the mountain section of Oahu, Wahiawa.
It does get cold in Wahiawa.
Like 62, 63. It's really nice, you know. You put your little cap on there, get your hot cocoa or coffee, sit out there on the porch, just enjoy it. Like, it's so good.
So I'm curious. So I was raised in Pacific Palisades. And we said that we would get colder than Wahiawa. You think Wahiawa is colder than Pacific Palisades or vice versa?
Maybe a slight more, skosh more colder, I think.
In Wahiawa?
Yeah, I think because the rain too, right? The wind. And
you know, my parents moved into the house in Pacific Palisades in 1965. And do you know what the small kind pictures that we have of us? You can see Pearl Harbor from my parents' backyard. In those old pictures.
Really?
Yep, but you cannot now.
Oh, there's $1 million view. Why like
everybody has the
view
5-story house. Yeah. And they bring all their family from the Philippines. So everybody has the 22 people living in their house now. To afford these prices. And we're kind of talking about this today because Christmas it's a beautiful time going around seeing all the lights and all that, but it can also be very, very stressful
it can
for
be.
people.
That's why I think it's important to us to remember what it's all about and the celebration that we have as Christians, really, you know, this special time of year, you know.
So tell me, when you were in your time at the legislature, what kind of Christmas spirit did you feel there in the Capitol building?
Well, in my office, we always said Mele Kalikimaka, Merry Christmas. I kind of went, a little happy holiday thing. I think, like, I don't say this, and I don't mean it derogatory, but I'll say it's such a Mainland holy kind of thing, like, happy holiday, happy holiday. Like, what the? You know what I mean? That was so foreign to me. So I'm real old school, right? OG, right? Old guard, right? So it's like, Merry Christmas. And again, it wasn't offensive. No one felt offended by it.
Yeah, I was going to say, was there anybody who, other than Mitch Kale,
Who
took offense at Christmas?
Yeah, he just
right. I mean,
takes offense to a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the beautiful things about Christmas is we realize at this time of year. So people that are watching and listening right now, we get it, right? Right now, you're trying to get all your Christmas shopping completed because Christmas is next week, right? So you're trying to get that off. For both women and men, you're planning your Christmas dinners, your Christmas celebrations. You've got, and at work, you're trying to finish all of those projects before the 2 weeks of Christmas, which is coming up. The next 2 weeks is when, like, the state of Hawaii goes to sleep.
Crunch time, vacation.
Everybody, nobody's around. Traffic is unbelievably
Use
great.
it or lose it.
That's right. So there is the crunch time, like you said, that's coming up. So I think just in these next couple of minutes, we want to encourage everybody to just take a minute to step back from all those noise and first and foremost spend each day with the Lord, because I think that this is a time when people really need to have that energy boost that comes straight from the throne of God.
Yeah, this is the time for all of us to kind of press the reset and really look back and look forward. And I think globally, everyone's looking for peace. And Jesus is the King of peace. And that's what we all...
Do we not need peace?
And that's what we all need. I mean, both on a local level here, what's going on locally in Hawaii, all this kind of crazy stuff going on. And then nationally, and then internationally, right? We need peace. Everyone wants peace, right? Whether it's in Europe,
we crave it.
In the Middle East.
I think we're addicted to peace.
We want
and that
peace.
search for peace.
That's a basic human need of peace. And I think that's what we should try and find a little of that peace and just chill out and enjoy family and friends. Yeah. Celebrate the relationships we have, right?
Yep. And I did something different this year. So you know how I like to play around with ChatGPT as you do.
Yeah.
So I had this conversation with ChatGPT, like how could I do something different for this Christmas so that I could really experience Christmas, right? And because ChatGPT is getting to know me, I said to ChatGPT that I have this beautiful little acrylic Christmas present that somebody gave me one year with some candy in it. And I just kind of put it under the tree every year. But so I was kind of looking at it. I said, help me get an idea for that. Like, what can I do with that? And just between this conversation with ChatGPT, we decided that and my ChatGPT is an Australian male. So me and this Australian male was having a deep conversation about how to use this acrylic present. And we decided that what we would do is I would come up with 31 Christmas suggestions on how to bring Christmas into the world, just by my faith and personality and all that. And I cut them into little pieces and I threw it in the acrylic thing. So every morning I open up my acrylic present and I pull out something, and it's everything from buy a random stranger a cup of coffee, or talk about Jesus to someone who you've not met before. So today's thing I pulled out said, and so here's a suggestion for some of you how to bring some Christmas. It said, drive around and look at Christmas lights.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, here in Hawaii, I love it. I love those Christmas lights.
People like to light up and share it with their neighbors.
It's like Christmas Christmas lampoons, right?
No.
Everybody's trying to put up the lights.
Yeah, but you know what's so beautiful about it? My sister does a great job with her family and friends, but they're not active Christian believers yet, but they put on a really great show of Christmas lights, the entire cul-de-sac. And people come from all over to drive to their cul-de-sac and get the hot cocoa and special cookies that they make.
Christmas candies.
Yeah, but it's something that they want to give.
Yeah.
It's giving, right? And that's part of the spirit of Christmas,
it
right?
Is.
Right?
It is. It is. I absolutely love that. And going around, driving around and seeing all these great Christmas lights. So here's another thing you can do with your family. I used to do this with my girls, but we added some things on as I'm getting older. So what we used to do is I would take my daughters around to look at Christmas lights, and they would count the Christmas lights on their side of the car. right? So we're driving up, and if the light was on the right side, my daughter on this side would get the point, and if it was on the other side. Now, what I would do, though, to make it, if one daughter was winning, I would turn the car around so that the other daughter could get some added things. But as I've gotten older now, what I've done is I've changed it, that the point only counts if Jesus is somehow incorporated into that Christmas decoration. And let me tell you, Jesus is not in many. So if you want to go find Jesus, instead of finding Waldo, go find Jesus and make that like a church competition and post on Facebook where you find Jesus.
But I know you can find Jesus right now at the Honolulu City
yes,
Lights.
You can. I was going to tell you to bring up your
courtesy of the City Council and the mayor. There's a section set aside just for community groups, not for profits, and you can see pretty good rendition of that holy night in the manger with Joseph, Mary, and baby Jesus.
Oh my goodness. Not very Catholic though. The Catholics don't put Jesus in there yet because he's not born yet. So they have the manger and they don't put Jesus in until
well this is kind of like taking that period of time, right? Like, doing this period of time,
I just threw that out so I wouldn't get any angry emails.
No, but it's pretty beautiful because there's
that's great.
Beautiful angels there. And he's in the swaddling clothes, and it's a real nice. It's a nice rendition, and then there's a QR code,
so you can hear Kahu
Cordero.
Is it Kahu Kurt?
Yeah.
Kekuna. Yeah.
Or Cordell.
Oh, okay.
Cordell.
There's so many.
And then you can hear "O Silent Night" by Willie K.
Oh, nice.
And then he's narrating the story about Opukahia. And how the Christian faith came to Hawaii.
That's like me trying to say Keoho Kalole. I just always have trouble saying that sentence.
No, but it's a really nice. So that's a real display. You can actually see Jesus there, and it's beautiful, inspiring.
I love that. Okay, let's turn to some favorite Christmas memories. So as you're watching and listening, I want you guys to participate. So type in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube and tell us your Christmas memories too, and maybe we'll share them on the show. So let's talk about some childhood Christmas memories. So Marcus, let's go back to the time of Moses, when you and I were young children in the time of Moses, because that's what people are going to look at us like, oh, you guys was here when they had like,
I mean, they had toys. I thought you guys only had sticks and stones.
Back in the days when we used to have to walk to school uphill in snow barefoot. You remember those days?
Yeah, I remember that. Quite, yeah.
Okay, so let's go back and talk a little bit about Christmas in Hawaii in the 1960s, 1970s, and maybe even 1980s, because we got some viewers and listeners who were not even born yet.
Yeah, well, for me, it was always about sugar cookies. It was always about Victory Theater. Was the old theater. Normally they only showed rated X movies, but this one time a year, the Lions Club would rent out the Varsity Theater, and kids would all go in there, watch cartoons, and would watch I think watch some kind of Christmas movie there with Bing Crosby. It's a Wonderful Life, I think. But they would hand out little brown bags of candy and nuts, apples, to all the kids there. It was a big deal, All of us would be there having these little snacks. And those walnuts and pecans and almonds. Okay, so if you didn't have a cracker, you go outside in the back and you pick a rock and you smash it. We're in the side, smashing with the rocks, right? And then eating the nuts.
Oh, man.
That was the first time you ever seen those nuts, like walnuts, and pecans, and almonds, and hazelnuts.
And you have to work for it, like you said.
And those kind of really nice-looking candy, looks like more like plastic, but it was really good. And then the apple, you got an apple, and an orange. All courtesy of the Waihawa Lions Club.
So So tell us some Okinawan Christmas. Come on.
Okay. Basically, it was the season for pig's feet soup. And you had that.
sorry. I don't know. I know the Portuguese probably eat that too, but
okay. Well, there's a relationship there, by the way.
I know. Okay. I know. You and I talked about that.
Right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. But anyway, pig's feet soup. That's what you eat. That's that's very special. You need to have that to ensure good health and wealth and well-being.
Now, was that Christmas Eve or Christmas Day?
No, that's like Well, Christmas, New Year's, kind of.
So did you have a special meal that you'd have to eat on Christmas Eve?
No, not really, not really.
I'm trying to think. I think my mom was just a great cook. She grew up very poor. So my mother is the queen of being able to mix anything together and making the best soups you have ever eaten.
Oh.
So Christmas Eve, and she came from a large family, and I had 3 brothers. And so there were 6 of us in the house, right? So my mom was always cooking for a lot. But I'm trying to think. So we always, since we were little, we would open our presents on Christmas Eve.
That is illegal, in certain countries.
I'm telling you, but you
There's
know
a law
what?
against that. Well, there should be a law, right?
Well, you know what though? So when I was little, I always kind of enjoyed that. So
we
when
could open one gift.
well, yeah. So when we were really little, that's how it started. At midnight,
Yeah,
at
I know,
midnight, we
midnight.
could pick one because we'd go to midnight mass.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And we'd come back from midnight mass, and then we would open one gift. And of course, my mom and dad were smart. They would, you figured that you're gonna open the big gift, right? But sometimes the smaller gifts were the better ones, right? So we always would go through that. But it was interesting as we started to get a little older, then we got to the point where we kind of started opening our gifts on Christmas Eve. And you know what? That ended up being a blessing because when we all grew up and got married and had our own families,
That's right.
then we were all still up at my mom and dad's, all of us, for Christmas Eve with the grandkids and the nieces and the nephews.
Yeah.
And then you still had Christmas Day to spend with your
Family.
your new family.
Yeah, your new family. Yeah, no. For us, it was always one gift, Christmas Eve. You go to bed, get up Christmas Day, then you open your gifts. But you have to wait until everybody got up. So, mom and dad are up having coffee. They're not ready to get into it. So you're just waiting like it's waiting. Of course, you're tearing the
and making lots of noise.
You're tearing the corners open a little bit, looking inside and, shaking a little bit. But no, it was always exciting at our house.
The Christmas gift is always like, of course, kids really look forward to that. But, parents can do new things with the gifts. When my daughters finally moved away and then I kind of had the empty house syndrome, what I started doing was I would always put 3 empty gifts under the tree that they weren't to be open, but they were to remind me of the greatest gifts that we get from the Lord.
That is so good.
And so when I would look at it, I would try to remember that even if my house was more on the empty side now, that I still had these gifts that were gifts that are given without repentance. The Lord is never sorry that he's given these gifts to us, right? Faith, hope, and love.
That's beautiful.
Well, thank you.
Wow. Plus, it looks good when you have a Christmas tree with some gifts around it, right?
Yep.
Kind of looks kind of bullhead, right? Or weird,
Yep.
right?
So I know some of my OCD viewers and listeners are going to go, well, what do the presents look like? Well, here's the thing. Every year you get gifts from people, right?
Yeah.
And sure enough, every year there's a beautifully wrapped gift that you get from someone that's in one of those reusable boxes. And so I just saved 3 of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
And I told you about my little acrylic one.
Acrylic one.
But that one's not one of the 3 gifts. It was a really cute gift that, I think she had candies and a gift card in there. It was a great gift. All right, let's move to where we're at today. So we're kind of, at where people are struggling, Marcus. We've got Democrats and Republicans that are just beating each other up. We've got shootings. We've got death. We've got wars.
Yeah.
We've got rumors of wars,
Right.
which, by the way, sounds a little scriptural to me.
The rumors of wars?
Yes, and all of
certainly
that.
does, yeah.
Leaders who care more about lining their pockets than taking care of their constituents. So how do we bring Christmas into such troubled times?
Well, that's why I think it's such a great experience for all of us to enjoy Christmas, the spirit of Christmas, whether you're a Christian or not, but it's one of family, of friends, of giving, of sharing, of celebrating relationships that we all have. Yeah. And to thank people around us for their friendship over the last year, to encourage and remember that we're going to go into a new year with these friends and family. And also reflecting upon maybe those we lost and how we still love and esteem them and regard them.
Yes.
Think about it.
One year, the year we lost my brother was a hard year for my sister-in-law and for my mom. right? I mean, we all weren't prepared for that. So the following Christmas, my sister-in-law and her kids weren't really ready, you know, to talk about my brother, or because Christmas was a big thing for my brother. He was always the perpetual kid, you know, would do everything.
Yeah.
And, New Year's Eve was his time to pop fire. I mean, he loved every kind of firecracker you can imagine. So holidays were really hard for them. So what I did for myself to remember my brother is I set up an empty chair.
Wow.
So that every time I came into the room and I saw the chair, I would remember that he wasn't with me, but it was also a reminder that he's sitting at the banquet table of the Lamb.
The big one.
So his Christmas, I mean, he's with the person that we celebrate Christmas about. So as painful as it was, the symbol of the empty chair was powerful for me. My sister-in-law only now, and it's been like, oh my gosh, I want to say 12 years since we lost him. She's only now getting to the point where she can really, talk about him, because there are, and that's a really good reminder, Marcus, that there are families that are missing someone at the table this year.
I think we all need to be real sensitive to people and how they experience the season. Some of them it's a high, some of them it's a low. But I think each of us need to support each other, you know, during this time. And it's one of giving and sharing and caring.
Another thing we could do, I think, is to look around at people that are sitting next to us in church, because sometimes, you know, that one elderly lady who shows up every week and she's always by herself, friendly lady, you know, maybe reach out to her, because maybe she don't got nowhere to go. You know, I remember when we were doing our trainings on end of life decision making, when we were talking to people about having their advance directives, there was an elderly woman who came up to me and she said to me, I have no one that can be my decision maker for me. I've outlived my husband, my siblings, my kids. I don't have any family member, but this woman goes to church every Sunday. And I thought, for us Christians, it is unacceptable that there's someone that could go to church every Sunday and not have a place to go, or someone to walk with them should they get that health journey. That's a really good reminder. How are we doing on our timekeeper, producer, director?
You're about to hit Christmas encouragement.
Okay. All right. So that perfect time. Perfect. That was a good segue. All right. So let's talk to those people who are tired, those people who are lonely, those people who are stretched and stressed.
Well, you're never alone. I think the reason for the season is Jesus. And this is the manifestation of his influence, his impact over all these thousands of years. The perfect plan to have our Savior come in such a humble format of a houseless, homeless family looking for shelter, you know, and to be born in a manger or, you know, a barn or something like that. Very humble beginnings, and for a purpose to bring God to man. And that's why, for me, I love the Christmas season because of all the songs you can sing, right?
Yep.
And then you think about it, there actually are worship songs. They're actually songs of praise, right?
I know that's why it's like when
night.
When I hear those songs playing in the stores, I'm thinking,
come all you faithful.
That's so awesome.
Joyful and triumphant.
Yes.
And when you're singing at the top of your lungs.
That's great. And what's your favorite Christmas song?
Mine is "O Holy Night." And whenever I hear on the radio, it's actually two. I hear that, and it's Willie Key's version. I mean, can I get chicken skin?
Excellent.
And I tell you, man, he just gets you right there. I get a little tear, like,
it's just
Willie Key.
Yeah.
And the other one I really like is Henry Capono. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. All my friends around the world. Real nice guitar song.
Yeah.
But it's so true. That's how I feel, right? All I want to tell all my friends around the world is Merry Christmas.
Oh,
Merry Christmas
that's
to you.
so good.
Right? I mean,
so good. Oh,
to
so good.
local guys.
If we wouldn't get copyright strike, we can put
Yeah,
it in
yeah,
there.
you can write
But
that
would you go
song
look
in
it
there.
up? Go
Yeah,
look at the Willie
yeah.
K version. You're right. That's so good.
Yeah.
I have always loved O Come, Emmanuel. And I got teary when I heard it just a few days ago because the words, O come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel. And when I thought about what's happening in Israel right now, I mean, not picking sides on the Palestine or Israel, but to think that I got really choked up and I thought, wow, that's amazing.
We just sang that hymn this past Sunday at church with my mom.
Oh, that song is powerful to me. I also like the little,
Rejoice.
well, Emmanuel, God with us.
Yeah.
And that's really what we're talking about. That's
Yeah.
really what we want to celebrate in this particular show. And you notice we tried to steer clear of politics. We kind of dusted a little bit in there because it doesn't matter what happens in the world because there is one unchanging truth. And that truth is that Jesus Christ came, was born of a virgin, died on a cross for you. And that changes you to know that you're not the same. You're not the same because of this little boy who came and ultimately died for you. So know you're not alone. Hopefully, if you do feel like you're alone, reach out to churches around you, go to church. And if you have no church, ask your friends where they go, and maybe you can pal along with one of your friends. But if you're really, really, really at a loss and you have no place to go, then I would highly encourage you to call your nearest church and just reach out and say, hey, I'd like to come and celebrate Christmas with you and see what happens. We'd love to hear from you as well. So send me an email at eva@hawaiifamilyforum.org or visit us on the web at hawaiifamilyforum.org. And make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know every time we upload a new video. Marcus and I aren't perfect, and we don't have thousands of followers, but I will tell you that Marcus and I care about you. We care about you. We care about your family. We care about this beautiful state we live.
Every year, I have the privilege and joy of leading the Hawaii Christian Legal Society and putting up a manger. And we put it up at the City Hall, at the City Complex. And this year we got prime location in the front of this set-aside area. And it features Joseph, Mary, and baby Jesus. And the great thing about it is that a group of friends of ours came aboard and hauled it down there. We put it up, and we put the fence up, put the lights up. And there's also a QR code that educates people about the history behind how Christianity came to Hawaii. It came through our leaders, and it came through, I believe it was Queen Ka'ahumanu, one of the first wives of Kamehameha I, after the kapu was taken away. And it was done through Henry Opukahaia. And Henry Opukahaia was the nephew, I think, of one of the leading kahunas of that team. And he went to New England, was adopted by an officer in Harvard, or I think Harvard or Princeton, and schooled in English and learned the Bible. And it was on his interest that the missionaries came to Hawaii. And that's a true story that's being shared in this QR code. So when you get down there, you can see this display. It's a beautiful display. It's three-dimensional with statuettes there. And also listen to a rendition of "O Holy Night," my favorite, by Brother Willie K. And we got the permission of his widow to use the music for the community.
So tell people how they can go see it.
Well, just go down there to City Hall.
Go down where?
City Hall.
And where do they park, or do they drive? Or both?
You can park there at the municipal parking. You can park by Kauaiahao. You can park down by Punch Bowl. Just walk right in there. And it's going to be up till, I believe, December 30th.
And if they go down there, will they see you?
You won't see me. won't be
I was going to
there.
say, maybe they like shake your hand, bro. You should go
No,
down
no,
there.
no. Just go down
Give
there.
away free candy.
Just go down there and enjoy it because the Christian Legal Society, they do a great job every year.
Honolulu City Lights. We'll see you there. So, Mele Kalikimaka to you and your family.
Mele Kalikimaka.